Hey guys, Dave and Ryan here from
davan.group.
You gotta say davan.group, right?
Oh, I screwed it up.
davan.group. It's all good. So guys, we're here with another explanation video for one of our Excel sheets. This one is a simple one, but a super important one. So this is the LANDED.cogs sheet. We use this sheet for all of our products, for all of our SKUs, just to make sure that we fully understand the metrics behind them, to make sure that when we go to sell them, that we're going to be profitable.
Yeah, when people say be on top of your numbers, I think these are those numbers.
Yeah, and what we want to do is we want to put it all into one little place, like our little bubble, right? Keep it inside the inside one sheet. The nice thing is you can update it from one order to the next. We're going to walk you through that, and if you guys have any questions, just reach out to us. All right, let's start, Ryan.
All right. So what you're looking at here is the first page of the LANDED.cogs sheet. This is the dashboard. And this is where a lot of the magic will happen, but it's not where we're gonna start. We have a place where you can put in your product name up here, and what we'll do is first dive into the second tab down here, which is your first order. So, as Dave mentioned, this is a sheet where you're gonna track all of the costs associated with your purchase order and with your product. So right now this sheet is blank. It's completely customizable and up to you. You're free to fill it in however you see fit, but we've gone ahead and already filled out an example for you. So let me jump to that. That's the last tab down here called example. And you can see we've already filled out all of the fields for you with some categories and some costs that are typical for orders. Now, some of these might be applicable to you, some of them might not be, but we think it's a really good launch point or a good starting point for you on this sheet.
Yeah, and the reason why we like categorizing them in different categories, essentially, is just so that we understand where is our cost going to when we're launching a product. Now, people have different ways to calculate their landed cogs, right? Because when we started on Amazon, we were essentially launching just one product as a private label. We said, things like brand creation over here, which included our logo design, the designer costs, our website, all that stuff. We wanted to make sure that our product could actually be profitable enough to pay back some of those costs as well. Now that we have multiple SKUs on Amazon, those costs are obviously covered by company overhead, right? So it's really up to you guys how you want to split this up. If you want to include that into the product landed cogs, if you're saying, that product has to pay that back, or if you want to keep it fully separate. So we made it, like Ryan said, customizable for you, but what you're going to notice is on your example sheet, you're not going to be able to select anything. Also, there's not going to be any prices next to any of these different cost items because we decided to keep them blank. All we wanted to do was give you the different categories. Now to use this example for your first order and then to customize it from there, it's very, very simple. Just come over here to this button. It says use example data for first order. So you just click it, and remember your macros have to be enabled to use the sheet. When you click it, you get a warning saying, are you sure you'd like to do it? Because we're going to copy it. Just go ahead and click OK. And now that'll take you automatically to the first order tab, and it's already filled out.
Right. And now is when you can start to enter in the costs that you have for all of these different categories. So for example, if you've done product research here, which involves buying competitor products. Maybe you've spent $120 on buying competitor products. Maybe you've bought a couple catalogs for $25 and some market reports for $30. These are just some examples. Again, enter in whatever costs you have for your product.
Right. It'll add it up so we know product research costs us $175. You'll notice here under intellectual property, for example, all of them are filled out. So there's no room to add anything else. Now, the way we designed the sheet was to say, okay, we're going to have a column extra called additional cost. And we're going to be able to go over here to the side and add all the additional costs. So we just make an entire list. For example, a trademark rebuttal. So let's say there was an issue with the trademark. It had to go back and forth. You have to pay some more lawyer fees. We're going to add, let's say, $350.
That seems, I've seen that number before.
Might have been based on a true story, yours truly. So let's say $350 trademark rebuttal. Then you go over here, there's a drop-down menu. You can put it under the intellectual property. And what you're going to see is over here, intellectual property, it'll add up to $350. If there's another thing, so we can now say here, lawyer fees for that rebuttal, for example, of another $350. We'll once again select the category, say intellectual property, and it'll add up to $700. Okay, so this gives you a lot of freedom to put as many different costs that you want to it. All right, and then there's one more thing. So let's say you're going to go ahead and place an order, right? So you have your purchase order. we go ahead and just put in the units ordered up here. So we're going to pretend that for the first order, we're going to order 4,000 units, and the COGS, right? So the cost of goods that you're paying directly to your supplier are $4.25.
You might have some other costs associated with this purchase order, and these are on often on a unit per unit basis. So instead of overall costs like Dave went over here that are just a one-time fee, you might have costs like transparency labels that go on each individual unit, and you know the cost per unit. Let's say this is maybe 6 cents per unit. You can enter that here. You can then assign it a category. In this case, maybe we'll say shipping and logistics. And based on your order of 4,000 units and the cost per unit of 6 cents, it knows that you're spending $240 on that, and it's going to assign it to shipping and logistics over here as an additional cost. You might have product stickers, like color variation stickers that you put on your product. Again, maybe these are 3 cents per unit.
That'll be 30 cents.
Oh, that is 30 cents. I need an extra zero, thanks. And again, you can put this on maybe shipping and logistics, and it will get carried over here and added here. So you have some flexibility with overall costs or per unit costs, and you just assign those to the category, and it all gets added up for you.
Yeah, and the one last thing that we did is to make it very customizable. So you can go ahead here, and instead of calling it other, you may have a category where you say, okay, you know what, we're going to make it 3PL. So let's say you're going to use a 3PL. Then you can go ahead and assign all your 3PL costs into this category. And when you have an additional cost for that, if you go to the category drop-down menu, you're going to see the new name of that category. So now it no longer says other, it says 3PL. So that's the overview of the different orders that you have. Before we go to the main tab now, I just want to show you what happens if you have a second order, or what happens if you're going to place the order again. If we go to the second order, you're going to see it's absolutely blank right now. But instead of filling it out again, having to copy paste, you can actually copy data from your first order. So that's something that we like to do. So once again, you click it, it'll ask you, would you like to copy it? Just go ahead, click OK. And now all of that information is going to be put in here as well. And you might just want to now delete, brand creation, because we no longer have those costs for the second order. And the nice thing is now it's going to update an intellectual property that's already paid. It'll update, let's say, your landed COGS for the second order. And you can see the cost evolution of your product. One thing that might happen is that your shipping might go up, right? So shipping might go from $1,200 up to, let's say, $45,000 because thank you, world, right? So that's the beauty of the sheet. You have a third order. You just go ahead and you can copy the data from your second order and make the small adjustments needed. So it's very quick to use this. Now, what do we do with this information, right? We have the orders filled out. All the costs associated to that order are in one nice place. What we want to see now is, are we going to be profitable on Amazon selling this product?
Right. So to start out, once you've filled out the costs for your first order, you can go back to the dashboard that we started with, the first tab. And there's a drop-down menu here that allows you to select which order you're going to look at. If you're just filling this out for the first time, this will probably be your first order. And then we can do a cost assessment and see what your landed COGS look like, and if you're actually going to be able to be profitable on this product. So there's just a few more fields that we need to fill out. But first, we can just highlight that all of those landed COGS, all of those costs that you just filled out in your first order have now been brought over here. So you can see a breakdown by category of how much you're paying per unit for each of those categories. And it sums up and it tells you that your landed COGS for this product are $6.07. So that's your cost of goods plus all those other costs that you just added in.
Right. So it's nice it's a quick overview. We saw that on our first order, we ordered 4,000 units. The COGS, right? So what we paid our supplier was $4.25. After we added all the additional costs, we're actually at a landed COGS per unit of $6.07. So let's go ahead and fill out the remaining blue fields to see if we're going to be profitable now on Amazon, right? So to get the fulfillment fees for our product, we're actually going to go back to our other sheet that we have.
Right, we have a sheet called FBA fees. You might have this one as well. This is great for a quick calculation of what your FBA fees are at Amazon based on the size and unit dimensions of your product. So we filled in a dummy product here with a length of 12 inches, 10 inches, and 4 inches, and a weight of 3 pounds. That's telling us that we are large standard size, and our FBA fulfillment fee is going to be $5.98. On top of that, it tells you what your monthly inventory storage fees are. So from
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
No,
but
sorry.
All I want to say is, guys, if you don't have the sheet, let us know. You need the sheet. It's super quick. It's really nice. We last updated this because Amazon updates their fees June 1st, 2021. So just make sure you have the up-to-date version. And don't forget to fill out your product settings as well, right? Because that'll affect your fees.
Nice plug. Love it.
Yeah.
So you also get you get your monthly inventory fees here per unit of 21 cents January through September, and then you might know in Q4 October through December the inventory storage fees actually get tripled. So just keep this in mind. So we'll take these numbers from this sheet and carry them back to our dashboard back on the LANDED.cogs sheet. So our fulfillment fee was $5.98. So we'll enter that here. The referral fee is a percentage, and this is based on what category you're selling in Amazon. Typically it's 15%, but just double check because it does vary from category to category. Let's say our sales price for this product is $29.99. You can already see some numbers start to fill out. So based on the numbers that we just put in, you can see you have a landed COGS multiplier of 4.9. Now, this is a metric that you'll hear people talk about when you're doing product research. Some people say you should aim for a multiplier of 7. Some people say at least 5. This is up to you to do some research and figure out what your target multiplier is. And all this is saying is that your landed COGS are $6.07 and your sales price is $29.99. So that's a 4.9 multiplier.
Yeah. One metric I like to use is just to understand how much profit is each unit making before ad spend or inventory. What's my break-even ACOS? So that's at the same time showing us here 44.8. And for me, super important for like reordering. What's my return on investment, right? How many units can I order? If I sell one of them, can I pay for it? Plus also order more so that we can scale and grow.
Right. Now, of course, in a perfect world, we wouldn't pay ad or inventory fees, but unfortunately, those are very real costs, and we have to fill those in as well so that they get deducted. So typically, 10% tacos can be a good target, so we'll fill in 10% for your advertising cost. And if you remember from the FBA fees sheet that we just looked at, we had an average inventory fee per unit of 21 cents. But let's say that on average, a unit spends 2 months in the warehouse. So let's double that to 42 cents.
Yeah, so we like to do 2 months because we assume like if our products are sitting there for let's say 4 months maximum, then some units are being sold on day 1, some of them on the last day of the 4th month. So we're going to half it. So we are saying on average, our stock is there for 2 months. That's why we double it.
And now you can see in the final, at the bottom of this module, you can see your final unit profit. And it's colored green. I think that's a good thing in this case.
Green is always good, guys. Green is good, yeah.
So this is saying after all of your costs and your associated advertising spend and inventory fees, you can expect to make about $10 on this product. That represents a 33% profit margin and a 165% return on investment. Not a bad product.
Another cool features that you can do is you can say, okay, if I'm expecting to sell about 300 units per month, how much can I expect? How much revenue in a month and how much profit? So this product would generate close to $9,000 with about $3,000. On the right-hand side here too, if we're ordering 4,000 units and our sales price is $29.99, we can expect a potential order revenue of close to $120,000. Potential order profit of $40,000. So that's nice to see.
You could officially call yourself a 6-figure seller.
6-figure seller, exactly, yeah. With this demo product.
Are we ordering this?
We're ordering this demo product. Okay, super important thing too. So let's say what we like to do when we're entering to figure out, is this product going to be profitable for us? We actually like to set our final target price in here, right? So let's say we want to sell it after we've launched it for $29.99. But during launch, we might have to, because we don't have reviews, lower the price initially to get some sales traction, sales momentum. So we want to know how low can we lower that price and still break even? Well, we did the math for you guys. Look, using all these metrics, all of your landed cost, landed COGS, and the inventory fees and all that stuff, your break-even sales price would be $16.62. So, I mean, it's pretty easy. You can actually enter it here. And then if you do 1662, what you're going to see is it's going to update to, 0 profit. You're at break even. So it's a nice quick overview to say, okay, I'm launching a new product. I want to get my money back, even to pay for my intellectual property brand creation. What's the lowest I have to sell the price at 10% tacos to get my money back on this order? And maybe your first order is just going to be break even, but then your second order, you'll make profit.
Once you have reviews, you can raise your price. You have some social proof. You might not even go all the way down to $16. That's completely up to you. But this sheet makes those numbers, it puts them in front of you so you can make informed decisions and you can be on top of all your numbers.
And the beauty is you only have to fill it out once. And now for the second order, remember, you fill out the tab at the bottom. You can just come up here and change it. Now, the second order, you're going to see it updated here. We remove some categories. And the landed cogs went up because, shipping went up quite a bit. And then you're going to see that now we actually made a loss per unit. I mean, obviously, we put the shipping and logistics at $45,000
for 4,000 units. That's
for 4,000 units. That's a bit much.
Maybe you're ordering more units in this. We kept it at 4,000, but maybe we should have put the units up as well.
And it was just to show that you can easily switch between orders, keeping all the numbers the same, and it'll quickly tell you what is the profit on that order or what can I expect it to be. So we'll fill it out, our second and our third order, before even ordering it, to say like, okay, if I can get my COGS with my supplier down, for example. So I'll go to second order. We can say, let's order 12,000 units, let's say. And I'm going to negotiate a better price since we're ordering more of $4.10. Now that's put into the second order. I go back over here and it's going to update and I can see, okay, I actually made a profit. Okay. So it's a very quick, easy sheet for you guys to fill out. We do this for all of our products just to stay on top of our numbers. If you guys have any questions, let us know. And enjoy it, guys.